How good to see you again so soon, Mr. Wick.
For about a decade, you hadn't really made a lot of films. What about this character?
No, I haven't made a lot of films that I guess you have seen.
You came up the house.
I came up to the house and I said, how did you like John Wick? Did you see John Wick?
You came up the house. You were training for this one.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, John Wick, it was sick. It was killer. You gotta put me down. And you were like, oh yeah, I'll talk to Chad now.
Yeah, but hold on. Wait. It was more like, you did?
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Well,
yeah.
I'll talk to Chad because I think there might be something there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
Chad.
And Chad jumped on it. Chad wasted no time in getting back to Mr. Fishburne.
It's really cool since the opening of the first one through the times to be here now and today to be a part of a film that has so much affection for it. It's very rare. Well, maybe not that rare for you guys, but for me, I guess it's pretty rare. So it's really cool.
Backstories are not interesting at the moment. This is not what this film's about. I think affection is a great word, which you used before for this movie. Keanu said about affection. There is a lot of affection for this movie, brought by him, and I think the way that Derek wrote it.
Hey, you know, John Wick was a Navy SEAL. He did this, and this. We don't talk about it. We just showed it to you. So you believed in the character. You don't have to be told what he can do. You've seen it. Not only did you see it, you saw the individual playing John Wick do it. That buys his credibility, buys honesty in the character. You also see somebody that cries over a puppy and fights female assassins in his boxer shorts. You can relate to that. Everybody fights in their boxer shorts.
I don't know any real jujitsu or judo or anything. I do movie kung fu. But with that, you can fake a punch, but you can't really fake a judo throw. You can get help from the person who you're throwing because they can kind of launch themselves. Thank you, Common. And then also at the same time, you know, Common got really good at throwing people at me too. So it's really a cooperation. And in real world, I don't do any of that.
As far as I'm concerned, in real world, I feel like he can kick ass because he just has it. Like, it's just, I mean, I know we're doing it for a film, but you can feel the strength, and some of that just doesn't feel like film work. It's just like, this dude is throwing this blow. You better be ready to move or it's going to connect. I want to be one of the greats on screen as as an actor and as a fighter. And, you know, from that start, Chad took me through, you know, they watched what I could do and then took me back to the basics of 8711, which is the stunt company that they have, and I just learned so much, and it was a lot of work, but I wanted him to know that I was committed. I was going to give my heart and soul to this, and getting to work with Keanu and seeing how he would come in every day after doing all these different scenes and having other work to do in other scenes and fight coordination, and just him coming in bringing 110%. And I loved, it's like a perfectionist that I have within me that Keanu has. And every time we rehearse, if we didn't end it on the right note,
we gotta get the flavor.
We gotta do one more. Where's the flavor? We need the flavor. We need the flavor. And the best part and the most joyous part about this is we could get everything, the flavor and everything, and have it right. But once it gets to Chad on the day of, he'll flip it on you, and you better be ready. I always look at our characters as rivals, but we also have a reverence and respect for each other. But once he crossed the line and made Cassian have to do what he has to do, because though he has a reverence and respect for John, it's like, well, he just went past the line that he shouldn't have, and that's when you see the intensity and that type of strength come out. But honestly, I mean, I guess it's left up to the visionaries to know if Cassian will be back. What do you say, Chad?
No, we like being slightly ambiguous in the world. I think that's a big part of the John Wick world, is to let the audience kind of take a guess on it. But I think if we kind of replicated that scene twice, if you go back in the movie, John does the same type of move twice to two different individual characters, and there's a defining moment after what he says in comment. One character is left alive, one is not. And that's pretty much all we'll say for now.
All of the action is difficult. And all of it's a lot of fun. I don't know, Colin, what do you think? What do you got? What do we got? They all have a certain kind of charm to them.
I mean, I could say like fighting in Rome, on the streets of Rome was really like, it was exciting and it was difficult too, because as I stated once before, Chad is I really think is like brilliant and creating these things. And he also has a spontaneity to him, which I really love, to be honest. And
That just means I changed my mind on it.
yeah, basically, I'm saying it in a nice way, Chad. but anyway, it turns out, you know, like some of the things that he presented was new, but it just brought an energy, and like, and us fighting in on the streets of Rome, and just like, as Keanu said, it could be the most difficult, but when we strike it in the right place, it's like we both could look at each other and be like, man, this is fun.
Yeah, like when after you hit me with the car and we got that kind of like little impromptu gunfight.
Yeah.
You know, we cooked that up there.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, and then when we, you know, I think the Cassie and John fight before we crash into the Continental, I think that was the most difficult fight technically.
Yeah. for
Right?
sure,
Because
yeah.
we didn't have all of the jiu-jitsu experience, and we had the guns, and it had to, you know, so we had to go through that process of just learning how to walk.
Yeah.
You know, and then we were training after we were fighting other fights. So I would say that one had like the longest tail. But it's also, when you look at it, it's got a real combustion and intensity to it, right? Like that Cassie and John fight from Philadelphia, that ain't so bad, right? You know, it's got like, I don't know, the intimacy of it. You also cut out the soundtrack in that, you know, the music,
It's all sound.
mano a mano, and like, and that was part of the development of that fight. But I would say that fight, yeah, and then you're like choking me and dragging me backwards, and I'm trying to do a reload, and like you're taking. Also, you have to understand, these are cooperations, like you said with the dance. It's like, it's a partnership, you know, and you really, you can't do it without the other person. You know, you have to cooperate. I think that fight demanded the most cooperation and the most technical, but also it has a ferocity and a kind of rawness to it, like, and a skill level, right?
Yeah.
The tea, remember the teacup, like fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm over you. I have a pistol. You have a knife, and then I gotta pull you, and you gotta do a 270 spin on your back, and there's like 3 transitions in that one move that you have to like get your legs behind my knee, under my shoulder, then push off, and then come back. And it's like, that was great, guys. Not. I think we're doing that again.
No, for me, it's more about like the high and the low. It's kind of what each fight scene makes you feel right afterwards. A great moment for me is right after these guys get done fighting, they crash through the window and they go, "Okay, I think it's time to go have a drink at the bar."
Yep.
Like, that's fun. That's good. They break through in the Continental. Like, that's that whole fight scene, all that ferocity, all that trying to kill each other was meant for the payoff for that one beat. When Franco goes, "Gentlemen," they'll take you over. That's what it's meant for. And then the whole, you know, in the beginning or the end of the first reel, when Keanu gets back from Rome and all of New York is after him, and he fights the violinist and he fights all these guys and he does some work with a pencil and he does all this stuff. It all comes back to, I mean, all that payoff of that whole gauntlet pays off to meeting a new character, our Bowery King, the man, the myth, the legend. Like, that's what the payoff is for. You know, hey man, you got a quarter, and our homeless guy shoots him, and it ends up being like, we try to build you up with the action to take you down. The whole thing with the opera is okay, we're gonna do what? You want to do a gunfight during a rock concert? And guys were like, yeah, we want to do a rock concert. So we did that, and you do all the catacombs, and what's the payoff for that? Getting hit by a car by this guy who you think disappeared. So every action sequence was built with a payoff. And that's how to build you up and then let you go and go, oh, that was kind of funny, even though you shot 37 guys in the face.
John Wick. You're not very good at retiring.
I'm working on it.